think
time,
it's cool.
every time I bump into you in here, it's oh wow, that is
So,
unreal.
yeah,
Congratulations.
thanks. It's really pretty
I am
cool.
Yes.
shocked.
Last night, not for nothing, I was
Look,
asking it to lay out what my plot should look like. I gave it some ideas that I had, and it gave me like 40 suggestions of
Yes.
what I should do.
I
I
mean,
asked it
but
to build
I
me a
mean,
plot.
but you can tell it what size, or you made the size, or you made the
I haven't
sizes
done
when it.
anything with it yet. I just said, let's
You.
say I want to make a plot that consists of virtual reality, immersive experience about a business world for people to come in. And it gave me all these ideas of experiences that I could throw into it for people to have when they're in here that would promote the businesses that they are
right.
trying to promote. And I just asked it for, you can't
Oh
do it
my
yet, but when we
God.
get the tools, so I just have this running inventory of ideas that I'm getting from ChatGPT. And it's all
And
text, that
I
just
think on a
describes
business,
it.
yeah,
I
on a
remember
business
when you were
standpoint
telling me
too,
about
Allison.
that. What about 2 or 3 weeks ago?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've been,
Wow.
oh,
Unbelievable. It's
we lost
unbelievable.
Christopher.
I can't believe it.
Well, I just found out ChatGPT just made a plugin for WordPress. What people have been doing is asking it to write blog posts and emails and things, and then they were pasting it into their WordPress
Yeah.
sites or their blog sites or whatever. I just saw they created an app you could plug in a plugin for WordPress, so you don't even have to copy and paste anymore. You create a new page, you ask a question, and it just writes it
Mm-hmm.
right into your website now. You don't even have to. There's no middleman
Wow.
anymore. You don't do any work. You just ask it the question.
Wow.
It creates the page,
Wow.
it dumps it
Goodness.
into your menu, it puts it in as an update, and you just walk away.
Oh my gosh.
I saw that today. Yeah, yeah. So I don't know
I
where
am
Christopher
so
went.
impressed with you.
No, it's just neat. Well, we have to gear. Part of why I want to do
I
these
tried.
little
I
Are you in
tried
here
to.
because of the Metaverse talk that I said I was having? Because this is the second one of today. I
I,
had other people earlier.
I'm in here because of you.
Okay, thank you.
I tried to stay.
Um,
I tried to stay away. I couldn't do it.
no, because it's
Couldn't do it.
fun. It's fun, but I feel that we
No, it's
have
just
to
so
figure
much.
out how to package virtual reality as a whole, as a business or a consumer or a customer, and not so much as a total game headset, right? It's not a toy. I mean, it can be
Right.
used as a
Right.
game thing. I play games all the time, but
No,
it's
it's
not a
not a
toy.
toy. It's not a toy.
And a
I
lot of
I
people
can't tell
don't.
you how many people I've told that
Yep,
they don't get it. They can't wrap their mind around
I
it.
know.
And by the time they do, it'll be so far gone. It'll just be unreal.
Exactly.
Because
And it'll
I
be, well,
mean,
hopefully it'll just be
I'm
easier
using
for them. Yeah, when they finally get
I'm
it.
using the Pro headset now,
Me too.
and I like the Pro headset. And
Yep.
they fixed the immersed. They
Mm-hmm.
fixed it,
Oh,
so I haven't been having any problems. Excuse me.
in Immerse?
And also the yeah, immersed is wonderful now.
Yeah, I know.
I
I use
mean,
it. Yeah.
it used to be blurry. It's
Mm-hmm.
not blurry anymore.
Nice.
And I just went into the desktop or the work group,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't know when they're going to add the 2 extra screens, but I could see the desktop no problem,
Right. Oh, in
and
workrooms.
the
Yeah.
the settings so you can see your own background,
Yeah.
so you can look right straight through the
Yeah. It
transparent
has a
and
pass
see what's
through
going
now.
on, but you still
Yeah. Has a pass through.
still
I saw
have
that.
your 3 big headsets up there.
Mm-hmm.
I just need more. I need more experience. I think with Chat GPT. I fought it
Yeah.
at first, and then
Mm-hmm.
it's so hard to get in. And once I get in, I
Try
don't
different
want to let the
browsers.
thing
Yeah.
go.
Try different browsers.
Okay.
That's what I do. Or that's what I did in the beginning. I don't have that much trouble. I'm probably jinxing myself, but I don't have that much trouble now because once I got in, I was in, it seemed. But I did try different browsers when I couldn't get
Yeah.
in. But the new, I'm waiting
But
for
I'd
the
like to
new,
see how
hey,
you.
welcome back.
I like to. I'd like to
Internet
see
got
how
me.
you. I like to see how you use Chat GPT because
Well,
I'm impressed.
so there's
But I
two
was
things.
impressed the
Yeah,
first
thank
time
you.
because
It's cool.
yeah, you're welcome.
But the first thing about the new, I'm waiting for them to update Oculus to the version 50, which I don't have yet. That's going to have touch screens. You're going to be able to direct type. You're not going to, you can use hands free now, but you have to point and pinch and stretch. Now you're going to be able
Right.
to touch
Right.
and browse on the browsers with your hands. And you're going to be able to type into the keyboards with
Okay.
your hands. And I'm waiting for version 50 to update in my headset. But the thing we were talking earlier, the thing about
Really?
GPT is it learns and it's conversational. So you can put in something in the
Okay.
prompt and it gives you back something. And then you say, you say to yourself, that's not exactly what I want. And then you can say to it, now write it this way. And it'll remember what you
Okay.
first asked it and it'll
Okay.
rewrite it the way you want. You give it a style. Or you go, like with this,
Now,
I was saying,
what type of PC are you using, a PC or a
yeah,
Mac?
I'm on a laptop. PC, sorry. PC. I was thinking desktop or laptop. I'm
Okay,
on a
PC.
PC.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I loaded it on my Mac,
Mhm.
but I didn't load it on the I didn't I loaded Chat GPT on the Mac, but I haven't
Okay.
loaded it on
I
the
actually
PC
use it
yet.
in the browser. I just go to openai.chatgpt.com and I use it on a browser.
Okay.
Um, so,
Okay.
but if you ask it, so let's take this for an example of this video. I said, create a video to welcome people to a virtual reality business expo based on inventors. Because I'm calling this the Inventor Expo because we're all inventors, right? People said I'm not an inventor. If you're in here, you're an inventor. It's for every single
Yes,
person.
absolutely.
And then it made me this intro, welcome to virtual reality. This is the leading tech of the future, and this is all this and that. And I said, now write it as though they're experienced virtual reality users coming to a business expo. And it just kept, it keeps compounding on what it wrote before and
Yeah.
fixing it. The only drawback to it
This is
right this
wild.
minute is that its database that it draws from only goes to 2021. And everything good in VR so far
Right.
happened in 2022. So I don't trust it for
Right.
tech completely, but it writes a lot of other cool stuff. But it's just funny. But
The
you were saying something before you got kicked out,
historical
Christopher.
is good.
You were
Now, where
I
are
mean,
you?
on a
Where are
business
you going to
standpoint,
be? Where
like
where
wait,
where are
this
you
one.
going to give your?
What?
Okay.
All right, go ahead, Christopher.
good. What are you
Oh.
talking about? Smart? No, he's cool.
Okay. No, go ahead.
I
Smart.
get so excited, Christopher. I'm sorry.
I get you, brother. I'm good. I think Etsy's going to be the biggest.
When are you going to
platform
give this
for
evening?
auction sites.
No, I'm doing it now. You're in it. This is
We're-
it. This is it. This is the second one of the day.
Okay.
It's happening.
I've been watching the market for online stores for almost 20 years. I started selling on eBay back in the 90s.
Yeah.
And then eBay just kind of went off the hook, and nobody wants to use it now.
Because it's all real pricing
Etsy's
now.
taken over.
Yeah.
And I think in what we're doing every day, all of us are doing every day, the design side, that's where people are going for is Etsy.
Yep.
I'm seeing them go to Etsy.
If you can see
it,
if you can see it and touch it,
right?
And all of a sudden you get a response. It's not just it's just not a dead picture. It changes everything.
Right.
It really does, because you
Right.
don't have to.
Right.
You don't have to type all that HTML. You just
Right.
boom, boom.
And we were saying that
And that
even when we bring our stuff
I'm
in
listening.
here to sell, we have to keep an immersive gamification to it. Because I was
Yes. Right.
Walmart put a post. Someone who developed the Walmart site, the woman Kathy Hackle, she just wrote a book, and she's like she's a leader in the metaverse retail market and fashion and all that kind of stuff. She created Walmart's metaverse, but it's in Roblox, so it's only on mobile. And I wish we had a way to differentiate the different types of metaverses that we're talking about, right? Oh, Chris got knocked out again, I think. And I went into it on my phone to see what the Walmart metaverse was, and I was saying it was mobile, and I don't know why we can't differentiate between VR, AR, mobile, and web, right? I wish we could, and
Because
that
the
there were terms.
terminology.
Yeah, I wish there were. Yeah,
Right.
and
So I mean, the easiest way I found to describe it is 2D and 3D, right?
Yeah, 2D and 3D.
Because anybody, even if it's not on virtual reality,
right.
you can describe that by terming that 3D and terming an app 2D. And the problem is the app people want to use that terminology of 3D.
I know.
When typically they're not 3D.
Yeah, and they don't. I'm always like, well, where is it? Right? You read a new Metaverse comes out. It's like, which one of my 5 devices is this going to be on? And what is it?
Correct.
And
so a metaverse essentially is 3D or 2D in my eyes. And that's like what you're saying. There's the problem of it, right? Is the terminology and the way the companies are portraying their products. Like,
and the other thing is when they write about the VR metaverse, they only talk about Horizon, and none of them have actually been in Horizon.
Correct.
And that's all they talk about, what they know of Horizon, and that's hurt us a lot. And that should be fixed.
We've had this conversation in here. A lot of us have, and it's the problem is too. Zuckerberg's not a good. He's not a good speaker. So he's a bad speaking. I mean, he's a good businessman, but he's a terrible speaker. So when he goes to market the Infiniverse and the Multiverse, nobody wants in there because they don't like Zuckerberg.
And all he and all he talks about is how rich it's going to make him, and that doesn't help either, right?
Top dog.
And
it does.
So we're talking about the different types of metaverse and how we differentiate badly, and how the press doesn't understand.
Yeah, we had talked, and Doc knows a lot about that. But and the thing is, with Zuckerberg, he needs a representative. He needs somebody to speak for him, like a speech. Somebody that can go in there, a PR representative that the people like, that they'll relate to speak.
Right.
Yeah,
I think I explained that to him.
The design
all the graphics and the words and all
Ain't that something?
Oh, gotcha.
Doc's up on all that.
This is something. This is something, boy. I'm impressed.
Well, I think I told you this the other day, Doc, that like the Walmart Metaverse on Roblox is a game. It's not actually shot. Walmart didn't go in and recreate a Walmart store. They created a game that had been used like almost 3 million times, I would say, because when I first read about it, it was like 2.5 million or 2.7 million. It's probably at 3 million now.
Right.
And it's inside Roblox.
Okay.
And you play games in there, and it rewards you with Walmart points or something. I haven't even gotten that far because I have to figure out how to play Roblox better. But it's not a store. It's a game about Walmart. And that's, I think, the key to how we figure this out.
My nieces are on Roblox, and the problem is
that's
generationally, that's
it's mobile. It's mobile.
Yeah, well, Roblox is a game, but it's Roblox is geared to kids that are anywhere from 12 to 4 or 5.
Right.
It's not geared to teenagers. It's not geared to adults. It's only geared to little kids.
But when they opened up it was really cool, though, that I was looking at it thinking, this is what we have to do, though. Even if it's a higher level game, they had a beauty shop game, and they had, just a couple things.
Right.
And that's what we should be figuring out how to merge with our projects.
Absolutely.
It's not coming in here and rebuilding out there. It's coming in here and building something that's threaded with our real business, consumer, right? B2C, which is another question I asked ChatGPT. How do I blend virtual reality and business to consumer? And it wrote a whole thing. But again, I still think it's limited in its information to 2021. But it did write out a whole selling points to B2C business, to B2C market using virtual reality.
Yeah, bullet points.
Yeah. It's really cool how it does that.
But it's weird. It's weird how Walmart kind of missed the mark on marketing that, because they're leaving out so many generations. They're leaving out their money generations. Their generations that are going to buy products. The generations that have the dollars.
Exactly.
You never know what they're doing.
And also, though, the next generation is
because
kids,
that's just a filler.
Yeah, the next generation's coming up. Let me ask you something. Are you guys okay if I start recording this? Because people have missed it, and they've asked me if I could record.
Yeah.
Do you mind?
Go ahead. Yeah.
Okay.
No, not at all.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Thank you. So there's just a mix of things in here. We were talking earlier about the Alps. Irene was in here, and she wants to build a real life Alps experience with skiing and and all of that to be
Snow 'em.
real. And that's a great idea.
Right,
And then
right.
I'm trying to build Fire Island in here along with Wonderland and this. But the idea is also to create something you won't get out there. So you don't want to directly duplicate what's out there in here. You have to do something in here that they can't do out there in real life, right? And that's part of the way to think about it. I don't know. There's just so much until we can do it. I was saying Spatial gave a whole they sent me an email yesterday. They've downloaded a really easy apparently a really easy to use creator toolbox that they invited they're really going after alt VR people in a big way. So I think that we can learn using those creator toolboxes because they're Unity and Blender and all of that.
Right.
And then we'll be ready
Right.
to bring it all in here. So I'm going to go check that out too. Yeah, there's a chamber office in Spatial. I have if you build a spatial world, send it to me if you're a member of the chamber, because I've been putting portals in the spatial rooms I've made to member businesses in Spatial. Because until they let me link
I'm still
here,
trying to figure it out.
Yeah, I'm still trying. It doesn't matter. Everything is complicated. Nothing is easier to use than one or the other, and it's all the same level of complicated. Right. I'm sorry, what, Smart?
Right.
Does that meta program work in here at all as far as making furniture for your room?
You can't do it in Infiniverse. You can't do it in Infiniverse yet. Yeah. The thing to keep in mind is when you do learn how to create, it's got to be really low polygon for when they let you bring things in. That's your key. It has. Hey, Sherry, you made it. It has to be very low polygon. That's what Mrs. C keeps stressing. Hopefully they'll come up with some kind of approval process where you can ask them, can I put this in? And then they'll start letting you. But I don't know when that's coming. But I think if you use the Spatial Creator Toolbox, you'll get an idea. Also, I'm planning on going over to Fiverr and Leon, I think, who does the statues here and the graphics here. He has his own page that he can be contracted, and you can buy things off his page that you can bring right now. I think into Spatial. Yeah, and hopefully he'll be on the ground running. If you wanted to ask him, I don't know if he's going to work something out to design for people in here on the outside, on the side. I don't know. There's just so much.
Yeah.
So welcome, Sherry. You went to the letting them know I'm recording this because people have asked if I could record.
Oh.
Where do you think the Metaverse is going?
The Metaverse or Multiverse?
Hey,
Metaverse. This is a Metaverse. Bigger conversation. Bigger conversation.
Yeah. Well, it's going to be everything you can do on the internet except immersive. Like if I'm sitting here right now and I forgot I had to pay my light bill, hit a button, bring up my account, pay my light bill. So I think you're just going to do everything. Everything's going to be inside the computer now. So it's going everywhere. In other words, that would be my answer. It's going everywhere.
Well, what I do,
wherever businesses can go to.
What I do now, I do a lot of virtual with the headset, the new headset with the work group and with Immersed, and it's increasing my productivity because I have everything in front of me and I don't have to go back and forth between screens because everything is there. So
right. Do you know?
I got it for productivity. I did not get it to play games.
Exactly. If you go to Metaverse Workrooms, there's a Metaverse Workrooms group on Facebook. Are you part of that group? Because they do weekly.
Not yet.
Go look for it, Metaverse Workrooms, and let me know if you can't find it. I'll send you a link. And they do weekly work days. They'll get together in workrooms in a group. And on Wednesdays and Thursdays or whatever, everybody gets together in a room quietly and works together. They take breaks every once in a while to see where they are on projects to help each other. And Fridays, that same group does a meetup. And there's 15 or 20 people for like an hour on Friday morning Eastern. It's 10 a.m. Eastern Friday. And there's a few Infiniverse people in there, but there's people all over the world building apps. There's a lot of developers that come in and a lot of people who write about it. And they just network for an hour every Friday. It's run by this guy, Nathan Suds. and he has a couple hundred people in the group. So every Friday, at least 20 people show up in workrooms. And then he would do the breakout sessions. You can take workrooms and build out breakout sessions. So you get 4 people to a table. And it's also got a screen you can join if you don't have a headset or your headset's not working. And it's got the proximity, too. So if you're in that table, you don't really hear this table, that kind of stuff. It's really interesting.
Okay.
They're all over the world doing all different things. And a lot of them have not been in Infiniverse, although we've brought some in. There are a lot of them that say, "What's that?" when I come in, and we talk about it forever. So it's Horizon work groups.
Yeah, there's definitely interest.
Yeah, exactly.
There can definitely be good interest in this platform.
And they're all facing the same questions. But everybody in there agrees on the same thing. How do we get people to understand that you can use this for business? And it's not something that you just play, that you just play Beat Saber on or whatever, which I do every day. Anyway, I use Supernatural hopefully every day. One of these days it'll go back to every single day. But it's not just a, it's not just a toy. And how do you get them to do the, the business side of it? Which is the big question.
Well, it's once everybody, like I said, we're big cell phones right now, like the 80 cell phones, the big ones where nobody had them. Now, how many people before cell phones really got popular, people would say, "Oh, I don't want a cell phone if they can't reach me at home, if they don't need to reach me." Like everybody heard that back in the day. Everybody said that. So it's all the headsets. Once these become more manageable, more portable, more powerful, the question that you're asking is just going to fall into place because new applications are going to occur, more business opportunities are going to occur, and blockchain is going to come hand in hand with virtual reality. So I think it's just going to grow organically. It's just that nobody has the headsets yet.
Right.
Nobody has them.
It's like the internet. I found an old article.
It's like home computers.
Yeah, I think Sherry did. I found an old article where I was interviewed about trying to get people to use email when I lived in New York. And the article was how I was trying to get people to use email, and they were resistant to it.
Like every step of technology. I think one of the things I posted on Multiverse Official was a list of like the top 25 worst predictions ever, and one of them was by Bill Gates talking about the memory of computers. Yes. The one guy, the
would
funniest
never be
one,
faster
when the
than
guy
I remember
was like,
you.
"No, horse and buggy is right."
I
the
have
guy said horse and buggy is here to stay. Don't invest in that Ford Motor Company.
I told you, like if Henry Ford,
and this is a major corporate guy.
Henry Ford said, if I asked the public what they wanted in a car, they would say faster horses. So I know I have a list.
Horses, there you go.
I think it's over there. I asked ChatGPT to spit out a list of inventions that nobody thought would work. The slide's either in this room or it's in the other room. It's just it's just all the things.
You should post that on Facebook.
Yeah, I have it somewhere. I think it's either on that wall that I can't see, or it's in the. This is the main hall with all the chamber members, and there's an entrance hall that's just got a few other doors on it. But it was a way to come in and then come into the bigger hall. And hopefully, as we get more members, we'll have more and more rooms to link to. And that this is just going to be a regular thing in order to grow, right? And we were saying earlier, this is like the beginning, right? If we're consistent, all of us, in the things that we do, then we'll be ready for later.
Hold on.
It's just about getting ready, right? And is it over there or no?
Yeah. And I didn't see it over there.
Okay, all right. Yeah, it's in the other room, I think. But it's just like the internet. We went through all of this. But what else? What other topics? Does anyone have other topics about the coming metaverse that they've learned or they want to know?
Just interacting more with one another and using it more as a tool and not a toy. And also, I am very interested in the way that you're using Chat GPT and current technologies and current. It's global, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week access.
I know. Just trying to schedule this meeting.
Anything,
it's global. Just scheduling this meeting to take it all into account. If you want,
just being
I
able
have
to
a room in there. If you want to see something
share.
that might spark conversation, right there, we can go in that room. It's the one that I use for the women's retreat, where I put up a bunch of information of what other people think is coming, and it's got a lot of AR. Here, let's go through that door. If we just go into this hangout.
I forgot about
So
this
this is
room.
where this idea came from. Two reasons it came from. One, I'm seeing that Horizon has a group like this that meets every week or every month, and I was thinking we should do that in here. And the other is when Sherry had her women's retreat, people paid for this workshop that I gave, and I decided to fill the walls with information that I found about what we can decide to learn about for our needs and purposes, but you don't necessarily have to know everything. But these are what's out there to learn. And I like these charts that talk about what each thing is and how they fit together. And there's another chart over there, but it kind of gives you an idea or a place to start about what would apply to something you want to do. What are your how does this fit into anything you're planning on doing? Because nobody can do all of it. I would love to, but it's just you can't do everything.
It's too much.
Yeah, there's a lot of knowledge to absorb.
Yeah, I think AR is important. And eventually, hopefully, it'll be seamless. It'll just be seamless. We were saying how the Multiverse guy's idea was you could go from app to app and not even notice you were going from app to app.
Well, the most important thing for me right now is the remote storage or external storage to increase the life of your headset. And also, if your headset crashes, it's there, and all you do is pick up on another headset and continue going. And that, I think right now, there's some stuff that you can do with Google Drive, but I haven't seen anything that will let me put the headset just for the operating system, okay? Just for the operating system, and then your storage, remote storage, somewhere else. So everything that you have, all your apps and everything, would be on the Google Drive, but your operating system would be on the headset. So it really doesn't matter. All of a sudden, it doesn't matter whose headset you use. It doesn't matter if your headset crashes. You just
that's why I
put
keep
that
everything
one down,
in the cloud.
put up another.
That's exactly why.
So
when I change computers
the most important thing right now.
Yeah, boom! You just log into
Oculus
iCloud and all my stuff's there.
I think the Oculus app has a cloud in it, right? The app itself.
It does now. It didn't used to. It does hold. Is it the cloud? Because I have noticed originally you had to download everything and start from scratch on a lot of things. So when I got when I had to reset my Oculus Quest 2, I was worried I'd lose all my progress in Moss 2, and I didn't want to do it. But then it kept. I was shocked because the old Oculus used to lose everything, right?
Right.
And when I moved from Supernatural Quest 2 to Pro, it kept everything. Once I downloaded Supernatural, it kept it all.
It does.
So it's getting there. I don't know if it's
are you
interchangeable the way you're talking about.
Are you able to use an external drive for all your games and stuff? And that's what we need to be able to do.
Well, I think
doesn't
Quest Link allow you to do that? Externally. But doesn't Quest Link, isn't that the idea behind it?
That's kind of what a cloud's designed for, smart guys. It's almost designed to hold all that information for you on a server.
I don't know.
So that
you know more than I do. I can't answer.
I know the server stores, it stores all the apps. I said it stores all the apps even externally.
Okay.
Yeah, because if you save externally, you don't have to worry. You don't have to worry about being a 256 or a 128.
Oh yeah, VR.
Yeah.
Right. It's coming though. Yeah, I see what you're saying. So if you want to do something, it could run on that storage as opposed to being limited in here. No, I totally understand.
Right. Because it keeps you from overheating and all that as well.
True. Why is everything low poly? Is it because they're creating such a big world that it has to be low poly for now,
I think so.
and
That would be my
everything has to
guess.
be
I
built
haven't
on the
directly
foundation of low
asked.
poly, and
Yeah,
then right,
that would be my
then to
guess.
kick in,
I think
then to
that would
kick in
Yeah.
the real
that would
details.
have to be
Because
settled with the
the
servers
rooms
too,
aren't low
Doc.
poly, not
Hmm.
really. The rooms, yeah, the
Server
rooms
space.
aren't really like this. Isn't low. I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, I
Just
guess
talking
it is
It's
about
a
low
small
poly,
objects.
area.
but
The
it's
smaller
not
the
bad
area,
though.
the clearer it
Yeah.
is.
She said
Yeah.
Right.
objects need
The
to be low
smaller the area, the
poly in
Right.
order
clearer
to
Oh
it
be
is.
yeah.
considered. Mrs. C wrote a post. I think I saw it on Multiverse chat or something. She wrote a post about, or maybe Multiverse
Mhm.
I thought
official,
I saw the same
and she
thing.
wrote a post about
Yeah.
what it would take
Mhm.
in order for people to bring in their own
Mhm.
objects, assets. And that's what I
That
remember
was
from one of
correct.
them.
Yeah.
Quest. I thought it was Quest 3. Well,
Hmm.
I think they're waiting one thing for the additional memory in Quest 3, but I
Yeah,
think
and
then
that's
it's
been a
still
big
going to be low
issue is the
poly.
memory. And
Yeah,
Correct.
Alpha's higher.
and
Yeah.
my explanation for that about being pre-beta is I feel that they hold one of the reasons we stay here is because they've got to get all the kinks out because once you become an alpha
Yes.
project you're
Yes.
supposed to be
Yeah.
perfect and it's not,
Yes.
and they know that,
You're supposed
and
to
they're
be
not
ready.
allowed to
Yeah.
when it's alpha. Sometimes they come in here and just break it just to see what's going to happen, right? You
Yeah.
can't do that with
Mhm.
an alpha
Right.
program.
Yep.
With
Yep.
pre-beta even
Yeah.
you can continue to fix
Yeah.
it and not be kicked. So once it's alpha and it's got a bunch of issues and then meta kicks you out completely, you're done. In
Yeah.
pre-beta,
Absolutely.
there's
You're done.
nothing different
Yeah.
about it. You can still find it. You can still come in for free. You can still use it. It doesn't matter.
Mhm.
There's no main difference to me between pre-beta
Right.
and alpha other than being listed prominently in the store, you know?
Mhm. You
It
just
just means you
gotta
don't have to
ride
be
this out.
perfect. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I'd rather them
Absolutely
take
got to
their
ride
time
it
and
out.
do it right because I did a response to somebody on Discord and they were talking about the listing of the app, and I guess the question was how do they expect to be listed if they're not here or at this particular search or whatever. And my thing is, I said it's not ready for that. They
Right.
don't want 1,000 people bombarding this site right now. It's going to
Right.
crash. It's not ready. It's too many glitches,
They didn't even
too many
expect
this,
this
too much
many
that. They're
people.
not ready. I
They were
look.
floored
I
with their
want them to
first
take their
couple
time.
weeks. Yeah, me too. Me too.
That's
It's
good
doing exactly
because
what it
I
should
like the
do.
fact that I'm able to.
Moving at the speed of
Yeah,
thought.
I love
Moving
it.
at the speed of thought
That's awesome.
in
Exactly.
worldwide
I'm gonna steal
communications
that.
and interaction.
I'm stealing that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Well,
that's
I love that they
that's what
gave us
we
the
are. We
opportunity
are moving
to
at the
get
speed of
property.
thought.
Yeah.
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 And if you really want to take
Yeah.
it, the females are doing it. You all are doing it.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't believe me, look
Mm-hmm.
around the world. Don't take my word for it.
I
I mean,
believe you.
I'm telling
Believe
you
me.
what I've seen for the last 3 months. Yeah, the women are doing it. I mean, the guys are like, ugh.
Well, there's plenty. You guys,
Well,
I
we
mean, there's plenty.
trying.
Yeah, there's plenty. But see, like
Yeah,
even
we
this, right?
trying.
When they started putting in objects, movable objects, that was part of the experiment, right?
Mhm.
To make sure it can handle it.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And you got to take it step by
They can
step.
handle it.
You look at when they talk about alt VR and they talk about Horizon and spatial, it's been years.
Hmm.
I went
Mhm.
on to Horizon with Quest
Yeah.
1
Mhm.
years ago. Literally, now it's been years.
Mhm.
Literally years.
Mhm.
And
Mhm. Yeah.
the most interesting thing though is I put up a photo of the mirror. When I got the mirror, I posted it on Facebook on my page, and it was like, "Yay, I finally got my mirror."
Okay.
Because
Mhm.
that took a long time to roll out by Meta.
Mhm.
And someone said, "Well, now it's looking much
Mhm.
better." And I just said, "It's always looked like this.
Mhm. Mhm.
We can't cut through the
I
noise
tell
right now."
everyone I'm not gonna. I tell everyone I'm not gonna try and explain it to you. You have to see it for yourself. But
Mhm.
but
Yeah.
no, you have to see it for yourself. I'm not gonna tell you anything. You need
Right.
to see it for yourself.
Mhm.
Is it worth your time?
Right.
Yes.
Right.
Is it is it is it um is it uh is it worth it? Yes.
Mhm.
But that's it. You have
Mhm.
to see it for yourself.